Hello everyone, I'm Akbar Arif and welcome back to my series Building Large Language Model from the Ground Up. Today's lecture is absolutely crucial because we are exploring the two main stages of building large language model. The first stage is pre-training and the second stage is fine-tuning. Fine-tuning is further classified into two: instruction fine-tuning and the classification fine-tuning. We will be exploring these two afterwards. So like these two, pre-training and the fine-tuning, are the backbones of every major models that you have ever used, from GPT-4 to GPT-5, Claude, Gemini, and many more. In the previous lecture we have talked about what LLMs are, where the term comes from, and how they evolved from the classical NLP models and why they are so capable today. So if you haven't seen those lectures, I highly recommend you to watch them. Well, let's just get on to our first topic. Well, that is the pre-training. What is pre-training? So let's begin with the first major stage, pre-training. Pre-training simply means training an LLM on a massive, diverse data set collected from the entire world. So let me just show you an example. It will be more clear to you if I will search something on the chat GPT, generate me a quiz on World War II. Okay, so here ChatGPT is generating me the quiz on World War II. So here you can see ChatGPT is instantly giving us the perfect answer, and like he is understanding my question quite well, and because of this, the natural questions that comes into my mind is how does an LLM understand human language so well? And another question is where does this all knowledge is coming from? So the answer is the pre-training on a huge amount of text. That's it. This GPT model was trained on huge corpus of data. The data I will show you here. I'm showing the data that has been used for GPT-3, because here, as you can see, I'm taking the example of GPT-3. Basically, in this course we will be building GPT-3 and not GPT-4 and 5, because those models are not open source, but GPT-3 is. So let's just see the dataset the GPT-3 is using. Wait for it. So this is the dataset that GPT-3 was using. So GPT-3 uses 60% of its data from the Common Crawl, 22% data from the Web Text 2, and 88% from Books 1 and Books 2, and 3% from the Wikipedia. So here's one thing that I've seen. If you total this quantity, you will get more than 500, right? But here, as you can see, the GPT model was just trained on the 3 billion tokens over here. So I think so Open has removed some data that maybe is uncleaned. So they have just used 300 billion tokens out of these. So well, just it was just for the information part. So just think, if one sentence is equal to 100 words over here, so that will be 300 billion sentences, and that is more reading than a human could ever do in 100 of lifetimes. And that is why we call LLMs intelligent, because their training data covers everything. Well, there is one another terminology, well, initially the LLMs weren't trained to do chatting, summarization, translation, or generate questions. They were initially trained for just one task, predicting the next word in a sentence. For example, I will give you an example, like the lion is the king, like is the dash dash dash. So actually, initially the large language model was just trained to predict the next word, which will be king, according to me. So this is the task that was initially uh, planned for, and this things changed after the term fine tuning was introduced. But there was one problem in the pre-training, is that pre-training is like extremely expensive. Let me show you some results. Like GPT-3 pre-training cost was like about $4.6 billion, and that's only the compute cost. I'm not counting like the engineering cost, or the infrastructure cost, or the data cleaning cost. So pre-training is not something individual can do it easily, because it requires thousands of GPUs, weeks or months of training, gigabytes or terabytes of the text, and strong distributed training systems. That is why we called pre-trained model as foundation models or the base models. So let's just get onto our like second topic. Well, that is the fine tuning, as I have mentioned over here. Enhancing the model by fine tuning it's on narrowly target data set designed for a particular task or domain. So well, that's a generic definition I've given. Well, we haven't read the definition for the pre-training as well, so let's just read it. LM is trained on a large corpus of text data, sometimes referred to as the raw data, raw text. So here the raw is refers to as the fact that this data is just regular text without any labeling information. So yeah, well, pre-trainings is done without the labeling information, and the fine tuning is done uh, by labeling information, right? So now comes a like very important question. If pre-trained LLMs already know so much, why do companies still fine tune them? So like here's the key insight. Pre-trained models are like general purpose models, but companies need a model that are domain specific. For example, there were two companies that have fine tuned like GPT models, and one of them was SK Telecom. It is a Korean based company. So initially, like GPT models knows the Korean, but for the company there was some specific rules that GPT model doesn't know, like the exact plan, pricing, customer scripts, or internal terminologies. So like they have then fine tuned the foundation model on their own customer support data. So after fine tuning the foundation model, they have got some really good results. I want to share them as well. Well, they say they have 35% improvement in this in the summarization part, and 33% better intent detection, and the last and the most important thing is like customer satisfaction. They are like much more than earlier. And I want to take the second example of a legal AI assistant named Harvey. Like GPT wasn't originally trained on like legal case history, regulations, complaints, rule, and the court and the course and the court transcript. But so lawyer cannot rely on generic models. So Harvey solved this problem by like fine tuning the GPT on the thousands of legal documents, and suddenly the model becomes specialized for like after fine tuning the model becomes specialized for reviewing contracts, extracting clauses, summarizing legal cases, drafting legal arguments. Like this is a fine tuning like at its best, you can say that. So actually what does the fine tuning does is like it improves the model on your specific use case, and it can do multiple works like classification. It can be your medical chatbot. It can be your like personal assistant. So like fine for like after the fine tuning was introduced, like the sky's the limit. So I think so. I haven't provided with you the definition of the fine tuning. So like fine tuning means taking a pre-trained LLM and training it again on your own smaller labeled data set. So it is like specialized in your own task. So think of pre-training as like building the entire skyscraper, and fine tuning as designing the interior of your specific needs, like for your specific needs. And other than this, we have two types of fine tuning over here: in instruction fine tuning and the classification fine tuning. So instruction fine tuning is like used when you want the model to follow instruction better. For example, customer support question answer pair, or the language translation pair, educational MCQ generator. As you can see over here, that ChatGPT is also instruction based chatbot. So it is like also have like they have done instruction based fine tuning on the GPT models. So that's why it is named ChatGPT, because of course it is also fine tuned. And there comes another fine tuning, which is classification fine tuning. It is used for structured output. For example, a spam versus not a spam. It can detect. Basically, it is done for the classification task. Like you can also do the object detection by the help of this if it is VLM, but it is not. It is like large language model, so you can only classify like things like fraud detection and something like that. So unlike like pre-training, fine tuning requires like a labeled data set. That's it for the fine tuning part. Well, I have also prepared one visual workflow for you guys, so that you can easily understand the difference between the pre-training and the fine tuning, right? So as here you can see, like just see from the basic. First of all, we collect raw and unlabeled text, like the trillions of words from internet textbooks, Wikipedia research articles, and we put that data into our model, and after like training it, we will be getting our foundation model that can be like further trained to do these specific tasks, like the classification, summarization, translation, personal assistant, and medical assistant. Well, these training is like the further training, like the fine tuning part. Like further training is done on the label data set. So as you can see over here, I've mentioned a pre-training LLM can be further trained on a label data set to obtain a fine-tuned LLM for a specific task. So yes, if you have to like further make your model more better, you have to fine tune it, but you have to fine tune it on your specific data set, but that data set should be like a labeled one, so that you can perform these all tasks, right? So this portion is like wait, this portion is like where I can, okay, is this, yeah, this portion over here, sorry about this, where it is, no worries. Well, this portion over here is, you can say that these all are uh, fine tuning part, and this part is pre-training. Okay, so this is pre-training and this is fine tuning part. Well, like pre-train or foundation model like are capable of doing other tasks as well. It is not like that the foundation model is like useless. They can do two tasks very perfectly. Like you can do the text completion. Like text completion is like here what we have done over here. the lion is the king. So the foundation model can do these kind of things like very efficiently. And there is another thing that is it has a few short capabilities. So as you all remember, in the early stages of like ChatGPT, like in 2022 when the ChatGPT was introduced, uh, there was like something that in the initial phase of ChatGPT we have to give some examples to ChatGPT to generate stuff that we wanted. But now you can see that we can get straight answer without giving any examples to ChatGPT. So earlier the GPT-3 was few short model, but these days the all the models are like zero shot. We don't need to give any examples to generate our specific answer. So I will be teaching you about few short models and the zero shot models in the next lecture. Well, I think so. You can all get very good overview by this workflow, the difference between the pre-training and the fine tuning. Well, that's it for today. I will be seeing you in the next lecture. In the next lecture, I will be going to introduce you to the transformer architecture, and we'll be teaching you about a few short models and the zero shot models and the combination between them that are being used in the reasoning model these days. Well, for now, I think so. I shouldn't take my leave. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the another lecture. Bye.